Welcome to the Steering Change Podcast, navigating through the commercial transportation industry in Alberta and beyond, powered by the Alberta Motor Transport Association. Here's your host, Kelsey Hipkin.
Greeting, friends, and welcome to today's episode. To ensure the Alberta Motor Transport Association continues to provide our members with the best possible experience, we've made some improvements to our membership benefits to reflect the growing value we deliver. Announced on April 1st, the improvements also include changes to full carrier member pricing and a tiered supplier membership opportunity. To deep dive into all of the above, as well as how these benefits could impact incoming AMTA members, I am joined today by some of my colleagues and subject matter experts in all things AMTA membership. We have Doug Walton, Senior Advisor, Member Solutions, Kristin Picken, Advisor, Member Solutions for Southern Alberta, and Chad Albert, Advisor, Member Solutions for Northern Alberta. Doug, Chad, Kristin, welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Hi there.
To start, let's do a quick get to know you. Chad Albert, this is your first guest role on Steering Change. I'm going to start with you. Tell us a bit about yourself and the work you do for the association.
First of all, thanks for having me on today. I really appreciate it. I guess my background is a little bit of business development for probably over a decade through transportation, oil and gas, and safety related services. I'm just over a year in with my tenure at the AMTA, and it's been a great change in roles for me. And then recently also completed my MBA in sustainable innovation. So that's another space I really enjoy. I simply just love helping serve and serving and helping people really at the end of the day. And this role lets me fill that need. So it's been a very enjoyable time and just getting out to understand what certain pain points are for members and just their unique journeys.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chad. Firstly, congrats on that MBA. And secondly, you're definitely a valuable asset. So we're happy to have you here. Kristin, welcome back. You were on our school bus episode last year. Please do tell us a bit more about yourself and what you do at AMTA.
Yes, thank you for asking me to come back. I was really excited to be invited. My role at AMTA, which I really didn't touch too much on last time, I think, is an advisor, as mentioned, with Member Solutions for Southern Alberta. So being able to get out there, boots on the ground, talking to members, suppliers, finding out what their pain points are in industry or maybe ways that we can support. Also hearing about what they're doing that's fantastic and new that maybe we don't know about. Again, my background, of course, as mentioned, is in busing. I have over 10 years of driving experience behind me, some training, and a lot of work in the driver education space with them. So thank you again for having me.
Thank you, and we definitely appreciate your knowledge, especially in that busing field. It's nice to have some great SMEs with us here today.
Thank you.
And Doug Walton, you are a regular to the show, but can you please tell us a bit about your work with the association?
I sure can. I get obviously the opportunity to work with these two great people, Chad and Kristin, as part of my team on the solutions side. I am the senior advisor of that team, and really, like Chad mentioned, we are the face of the association. We get out. We meet with members, we listen to their pain points, and we connect them with, subject matter experts within the AMTA, or we connect them with, many of our, possibly supplier members to, support them through their journey and their day-to-day challenges. And, it's just a great association to be a part of. I come from industry, 28 years in the business, and it's great to be here and able to give back now through my knowledge and experience to our members.
Wonderful. Thank you, Doug. And of course, thank you all for being here. We really do appreciate you taking the time. Doug, I'm going to start with you. Why did AMTA feel the need to start exploring its member fees and member benefits?
Well, our association really is a health and safety association, and, we are serving, our members, and we're always looking at ways in which we can improve. And, we are committed to, evolving as industry evolves, and we listen to our members and the feedback, and, we assess the current demands in the industry, and it became clear that we needed to, look at improving some of our benefits. And so in response to that, we looked at education to start, bundling some key education products to better serve industry, looking at other ways to provide, discounts and value add. So we knew it was important, and we're seeing, the response from those enhancements really the feedback has been good so far. So.
Wonderful. Thank you, Doug. Kristin, can we dive a little deeper? Can you outline the changes that have been made to carrier fees?
Absolutely. So, our recent changes focus on streamlining our membership structure. We have adjusted our fee schedule to reflect company size and operations, making membership more accessible for a wider range of carriers. What we wanted to do was make the structure more equitable, particularly for our smaller to mid-sized carriers, while still supporting our advocacy efforts and our services that we have already in place for our members. So our goal was to create a clearer, more transparent model while still maintaining the level of service and then exceeding some of the benefits we already had.
Kristin, I'm going to stay with you. We released these changes on April 1st, and here we are recording today on May 1st. But in the in-between, how's carrier response been so far?
So you are right, it's very early. What I can say, the response I have had and the carriers I have spoken to has been positive. I think we're going in the right direction and they seem to agree. One of the biggest things I have noticed is it has created an opening for more dialogue with those carriers. So once we dive into the fee structure change and then we can elaborate more on the new maybe education bundles or into the simulator training and rentals that we offer for them, it opens that door for wider communication, and it has been fairly positive.
Absolutely. And I mean, for our existing members, and if you're out there considering a membership, engagement with you guys is key. Hearing what you have to say, trends, what's going on with your fleets, hugely important. And that's why the team like Doug, Kristin, and Chad here at AMTA is super integral to kind of listening to you and engaging with you on these sorts of things. Speaking of Chad, I'm going to switch over to you. Our suppliers play a huge role in supporting our carrier members and industry in general. Can you elaborate on that importance a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. Well, as you mentioned, suppliers are an integral part here. Supplier-customer relationship is a very complex and interesting one. And to me, it normally comes down to two different forms, either transactionary or a collaborative approach. And both are very important depending on what the needs are for the business. So when we look at what is needed to run a business, especially in commercial transportation, you're looking at the support of, I don't know, 80 to 100 different businesses to operate on a day-to-day. So it's I mean, there's a lot of very, very important relationships. There's some that are seen as more transactional. And it's, yeah, I can't stress enough how important those suppliers are to the community. We all need suppliers for different reasons, right? So whether that's a collaborative approach to information sharing, learning new ways of doing things. Yeah, I mean, it is an integral part of keeping businesses thriving and staying ahead of the curve, right? So very, very important to our association for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chad. And Doug, in that same vein, when we announce these changes, we're also making opportunities for suppliers who may want to offer discounts to our members. Can you delve into that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. And like Chad mentioned, our suppliers are very important to our carrier network and our members. They offer so many different services that bring value. It can be tires, it could be abstracts, it could be health and wellness benefits, those kind of things. So a wide range of suppliers that are in our network now. And what we're offering and what we're looking at is having suppliers take a look at their programs, and if they are able to provide, further discounts or looking at, an enhanced level of service to our members. So if you are an AMTA carrier member or associate member, what does that mean? And how can our suppliers provide, additional support for those members, like very similar to the AMA type model, so that's what we're looking at exploring with our current supplier members. We do have a lot of interest so far. with the registries offering, discounts, through prorate or abstracts. We've had early discussions there. So we're really looking forward to exploring those opportunities with our current and potential supplier members. Again, the goal is to provide and offer the best service for the best price for our industry. And we have a lineup, I know, of suppliers that are willing to look at those programs and jump on board. So we're excited for that.
Thank you, Doug. And to tack on while we're talking about suppliers here, AMTA has also introduced a tiered supplier membership. So we have our base suppliers. You might be a smaller company, smaller budget, might only need specific needs, but maybe you want more outreach. Maybe you want more in touch with our carriers. Maybe you have more to offer. And for that, we've introduced AMTA Elite. This is replacing the former AMTA Plus that we had introduced. We just wanted a different way to present this in a way that suppliers could support industry, be in touch with carriers, be in the room with carriers, and be able to promote their goods that way. So AMTA Elite is a second tier to a base supplier membership. Some of the perks it includes discounts that we've kind of already touched on, but some of the nice things are you have access to the myAMTA CRA portal, and you also get a full delegate pass to our annual conference. So there's a couple perks in there, and if you're chatting with these guys at any time, they're happy to discuss AMTA Elite with you as well. So, Chad, I am going to come back to you. How can that AMTA Elite be beneficial, especially to our suppliers?
Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, Kelsey, I'm sure you're well aware, we have a little bit of a saying internally that goes something like, those that show up get fed. So the whole idea of this elite supplier membership was created for those suppliers with an appetite for collaboration, more outward engagement, and looking to participate with more visibility in and around our commercial transportation community. This new tier also provides suppliers a new opportunity to be more engaged in driving effective change in industry through things like projects, R&D, government advocacy, like you mentioned, event discounts, like you mentioned, and access to our newly created internal carrier network that you also mentioned. So yeah, there's a lot of great opportunities, but it all comes down to how much people want to be engaged. So I think this is a great new value add in terms of tiering for those that do want that extra engagement with members. They have a more collaborative approach to industry, and yeah, just have more time. I mean, there's lots of suppliers out there that are needed, as I mentioned, in many different ways, but some just don't have the ability to be out and in the community and at events and things like that, whereas a lot of other folks do have that appetite 100%. And we wanted to engage with those people a little bit more and give them some more opportunities. So it just provides another level of service and value, I think, to our group and our community.
Thanks, Chad. That was a gracious and knowledgeable answer, especially after I stole your thunder. Doug, I'm going to slip one in here for you. We're hearing a lot of the same words on repeat in this chat that we've been having. We're hearing engagement, we're hearing collaboration, we're talking about our membership. Can you just kind of delve on why is it important that carriers utilize us for that engagement and utilize us for that collaboration? What can AMTA do for carriers?
Well, again, going back to that, who are we as AMTA? We are a health and safety organization, and our goal is to improve road safety. We're also here to, support our members and finding, the answers to their questions, or, supporting them with their challenges and finding solutions. So these carriers, the suppliers that we have really we partner with, offer those unique services to support them. And some of the larger carriers may have all the suppliers that they need. But, when you look at our demographic in Alberta and how our carrier members are made up, majority of our members are the smaller 10 to 20 truck mom and pop outfits that really need that support for their back end administration or their safety and compliance. So, the owners, they are the salespeople, the HR, the customer service representative, and then they're also, could be out in the truck driving because they just don't have, those resources within their business. So we're really here in their corner to support them. So, when they're on the run and they need support, whether they're calling us from the truck going, hey, I'm in need of some safety and compliance advice. That's really, where we come in and where we can support, those carriers and the industry. So hope that
Wonderful.
answered it.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Doug. So I'm going to wind down. Once again, I really do appreciate the three of you being here today, but let's do a bit of a wrap up. Kristin, is there anything you'd like to add in general about your work or what we've chatted about today?
I think I'd just like to summarize a little bit. I like getting to listen to the guys after I talk, because then I always build ideas on what they've said. And just to echo into what Doug was just stating about all the different types of opportunities we have to make these connections between carriers and suppliers, especially through membership. Membership at AMTA, as we've just discussed, it's not stagnant. These ideas come from our members. They come from industry. They come from community. We're not just sitting here going, this would be a good idea because we think so. We're listening to what you want. So the elite supplier membership, that was an ask. It was an ask from our suppliers. Can we build something out that's a little bit more robust for those that have the ability and want to be more involved? And then from the carrier side, again, their asks. They want more intensive training. They want more opportunities to maybe put their drivers through, or their safety people in a position for success where they maybe didn't have the knowledge or opportunity before to say, we can do this, but we just don't know how. So we're never just sitting still going, this is it, this is membership. It's constantly fluid. And I think that it's something everyone needs to be aware of. And of course, no supplier and carrier member are alike. They're all very different. So we have these benefits that can be used in different ways for each carrier, and it's not the same stream for everybody. And I think that's one of the best things we have to offer as an association.
Exactly. And say I'm an associate carrier and I do want to learn more. What is the best way to get a hold of you guys?
For me, the best way to get a hold of me is to call me. But we have our member solutions email. So I believe it is memberservices@amta.ca. You get put in touch with our absolutely fantastic Helen, and she will branch you out. I know, she's my favorite. She'll branch you out to your best fit advisor, whether that be myself, Chad, or Doug. Other than that, you can call our 1-800 number, or just ask anyone, like, do you have someone at AMTA that I can talk to? I mean, case in point, yesterday I was out at one of our carrier members, and they had 3 names ready for me when I walked in the door to say, by the way, this person would like to talk to you. They didn't know about this benefit that you had to offer. So
awesome. I will say this industry is very word of mouth.
yes. Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, we are going to have all those details if you do want to reach out in the show notes. So just keep that in your mind. Mr. Albert, any final parting thoughts from yourself?
Well, I guess to build on a little bit what Kristin mentioned there too is, I mean, every business is different, regardless of how similar it might be. Your journey is different. Your unique pain points are different. It's just like people, right? We're all different in some capacity, way, shape, or form. So I think the nice thing about the AMTA is it does provide a lot of those different engagement opportunities depending on your journey and your path, right? So not every person or not every business is going to require all these different suppliers or services that we provide. But they will at some point in their journey, and that's what we're here for, right? And so I think it's very important. And you don't know what you don't know at the end of the day. So I really encourage people, especially our members, to reach out. I mean, we have a very engaging team here. We love outreach. We are human-centric people. We enjoy serving and we enjoy helping people, and it brings the best out of our team. And I think that showcases a lot about what AMTA is here for. We're here to support, we're here to talk to you, whether it's a simple or a very complex problem. Give us a shout and we'd love to chat with you. Our team might not have all the answers for you, but we will definitely put you in touch with the people that can help support you on that journey to the next level. And that's what we're all here for, right? Is accelerating that community and making sure it's thriving for years to come, as it is an integral part of our economy and what we do here in Alberta. So proud to be a part of the team.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Chad. And I definitely will say for the three of you specifically, these guys are always on the move. They are rarely sitting still anywhere, whether at their desks or wherever they may be. They're out visiting with carriers, they're out visiting with suppliers, they're at events promoting AMTA and our initiatives. So it would be rare if you haven't come across one of these guys already. Now, Mr. Walton, I'm going to close with you. Is there anything you'd like to add from our chat today?
Yeah, for sure. I'll just, I guess, review real quick. If you're an associate member and you want to explore, the full carrier members benefits, just when we look at the education bundles and the offerings there alone, in most cases, it's going to offset your membership costs just with, some of those offerings that we've put out there. And again, we're a non-for-profit organization. We are not here to make money off the backs of our membership. We're here to support them and provide them, with the tools and the education and the support needed. So that's what we're here to do. Just to touch on, that membership referral program, Kristin mentioned when she walked in, people were saying, hey, connect with so-and-so, they need us. And that's another benefit to our members. So if you do have a friend or a colleague that operates another company that could, look at using AMTA services and or someone that is in need, refer them to us. Again, that will come back to you for your next year's membership, and we'd certainly love to explore any which way we can support you and your company. So I'll end on that.
Perfect. Thank you, Doug. Some great points there. And I just want to say to Doug, Chad, and Kristin, thank you three both so much for coming and sharing all that information today. As mentioned, we will have these guys' contact information in the show notes should any of our listeners wish to expand upon that further. And let's just close with some AMTA news. Our 75th Professional Truck Driving Championship takes place May 31st in Edmonton. Registration for both driver competitors and volunteers closes May 23rd. Full details can be found by reaching out to events@amta.ca, anyone you see on today's episode or listen to on today's episode, or by visiting amta.ca. Also, registration and sponsorships are available for our Calgary and Edmonton golf tournaments taking place in June. Again, please reach out to events@amta.ca for more information or check out our website. Do you have any questions or comments about the Steering Change episodes, particularly today's? Do reach out on our Instagram at AMTA_CA or LinkedIn and Facebook at Alberta Motor Transport Association. Stay safe and see you next time.
Thank you for listening to this episode of AMTA's Steering Change podcast. The views expressed by guests of the Steering Change podcast are their own and may not reflect the views of AMTA, its hosts, or sponsors. Did you have a question that you would like answered on an upcoming episode of the Steering Change podcast? We want to hear from you. To submit a question to the Steering Change mailbag, hit up our DMs on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram with the hashtag Steering Change, and your question will be answered either live on the podcast or by one of our SMEs here at AMTA. We ask that you share this episode with those in your network that could benefit from what we discussed today, and make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be notified when future episodes are released. You can learn more about us and our mission by visiting www.amta.ca. Now get out there and have a safe day.